Hey, everybody. This is your girl, Pam Jones from Living Optimally with Pam Jones. I just wanted to jump on here really quickly. Thank you all so very much for all of your interaction, for subscribing, being a part of this Living Optimally with Pam Jones. Why is that so important? Is because as you have followed before, I'm always wanting to make sure we find a plethora of different ways to live optimally. And what does that mean? That's being your best physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, as well as spiritually. So I'm going to give you so many tools, whether that's in videos, whether that is live talks, whether that is some of my podcasts. So please take some time to comment. I would love to hear from you, but most importantly, stay tuned to more and more beneficial videos. So today, what I want to do is I want to talk about being able to have the importance of different ways to eat and be able to get those macro and micronutrients that we may not be getting in today's foods. So a lot of times you've heard me talk about getting out there. You've seen videos where I'm talking about getting out there in nature. One of the things is whether I'm riding bikes, whether I am out doing outdoor sports, getting that vitamin D with the beautiful natural sun. But also, you've seen me be able to have things about me planting my container garden. So, those are different ways that I want to encourage you to continue to really pay attention to your body. So, one of the things that I want to be able to do is we want to focus a lot today on sprouting. A lot of times people don't do that. So, we're living in a world now where everybody is working on going to the store for convenience and being able to get everything um, just through purchasing, and we're trusting that whoever's handled our food handled it with the utmost care, but also that it has the most nutrients. That's not always the case. So just forgive me for just a moment. Anytime, even if I buy something new, I like to make sure it is washed and cleaned thoroughly before I use it. So I am actually cleaning my jars here. So that way, whatever I feed to myself as well as to my family, it is really for the utmost. So, one of the things is I do want you to comment to let me know if you've ever done sprouting. So, a lot of times we go into the store and buy our salads, buying all of our vegetables, but a lot of them, if the soil and the food is not natural or nourishing, it's really just eating empty food with empty calories, and also the nutrients are not there. So, one of the things you see me cleaning is for my sprouting is just regular jars. So you can use just regular mason jars or whatever you want to call. You can even get these at the dollar store if you want to. Most of the time people have these, but I just like to clean mine. I'm going to use two today. So I'm going to be able to teach you a little bit about something you may not realize. So a lot of times people purchase lettuce, but they purchase things like sprouts, not knowing the importance of sprouts. So sprouts can be super nutrient. So we want to be able to focus a little bit. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't already, look into doing that. So today I'm going to use a couple different sprouts that I want to be able to educate you. So stay tuned because I'm going to be dropping multiple videos that is going to be able to show you different ways, but also you can sprout in just as little as 5 days. And so I'm going to show you day by day what that looks like. So I'm going to say fair warning, some days I may look like I'm just rolling out of bed. That is because I am. Also, for those that know me, my schedule is uberly busy. I don't know for sure if that's a word, but we're going to use it. I am so busy, but when I can connect with nature, it is a good way to calm me, which helps me to tap into my emotional health as well as my spiritual. So, one of the things, and forgive the voice, I do talk a lot. Going to my ear, nose, and throat specialist, I do have vocal cord abuse. So, that's also something I'm working on being optimally, is to be able to protect my voice, which is my world and my moneymaker. So, also, one of the things I wanted to be able to share, if you have not sprouted, I have some different brands. As you can see, this is salad mix. I'm not for sure if that's frontwards or backwards, but this will sprout. And as you can see, people need to be able to tap in. So, I want to encourage you, use this a little bit when you are having it as your salad. One of the things that I do is I use it when I am for even for breakfast or a snack. I may have it with some avocado and just put my sprouts on top so I'm getting my nutrients. So you may not have time for a full salad, but I would encourage you to do that. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a little bit about mung bean. Most of you probably have never heard of it, but mung bean, we're going to sprout mung bean because mung bean is something that I consume, and I want to teach you a lot about it if you haven't already consumed it. Myself, I have not eaten meat in such a long time, but even though it's a bean, it is in a lot of dishes, and it is very beneficial to us. And so I'm going to share what we're going to do today. So, one of the things I want to be able to share with you is I just ordered a bean sprouting kit. As you can see, it is just 2 jars. We do have a black sleeve, and the black sleeve just helps to keep it dark. You don't necessarily have to have that. And then I'm just going to use 2 of the jars. And as I said before, you can just use 2 of the jars you already have and punch holes in your lid so it can be able to drain. So I just got my regular tops, and then we have the little lid that will actually allow the water to seep out. So we're going to be able to do this process for 5 days, and you're going to be able to see what that looks like. So while we're doing this, using the mung beans, what I wanted to be able to share with you just today as we're getting started, and please, please, please follow and subscribe, because stay tuned so you can be able to see the next steps that I'm going to share. I'm only going to give you a few of the benefits of mung bean today as we are working on being able to have it, but you're going to be totally surprised in the benefits of mung bean. So, unlike regular beans that have some nutrients but not all, I'm going to share with you a little bit. With mung bean, you'll be surprised that it is a rich source of plant protein. So, the reason why, like I said before, is the protein, sorry, excuse me, the protein is very important to have it, because if you're not eating meat, you want to make sure you're getting protein, because these proteins are going to help you with muscle growth, being able to help you with your overall cellular function, muscle repair, even if you are exercising, whatever you're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mung bean and I'm just going to separate them. So I don't know for sure if you can see a little bit of what the mung bean looked like. I'm just going to bring it a little bit closer. So I'm just going to kind of split these half and half in my 2 jars. So this is what I want you to do if you have. So you can pause this video, but the main thing I want you to take away is I want you to take away the idea that I am most definitely wanting to share the benefits and how I use it. Mung bean also, when I use it in a certain form, it takes the place of me using eggs. So a lot of times people may not eat meat, but or eggs. So this is a great source. As I talked about, it's protein. Also, it will help aid in weight loss. So who cannot benefit from that as we're getting ready to be summertime fine? But this is also a great way to be able to um, aid in your weight loss. So the reason why is mung bean is very low in calories. So you can be able to eat as much as you want, whether that is on top of an open sandwich, whether that is instead of using regular iceberg lettuce, you can use your mung bean sprouts. You can actually use it as a side. So there's so many different ways because it's very low in calories, but it's very high in fiber. That's also another benefit of mung bean. It's very high in fiber. So with that, we want to be able to make sure that remind you it helps you to stay full a lot longer. Okay. In addition to that, it will also help you. it's a good source of a balanced diet. So just wanted to be able to remind you of some of those benefits. Another thing, what we're going to do is you can either use filtered water. I do have filtered water. If you don't, you want to be able to use the best source of water that you can. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add enough to be able to allow it. As you can see, we want to be able to make sure it is having room to be able to sprout. So as you can see, I want to go through this whole process with you. And so for the first 8 to 12 hours, we're going to do just that. We're going to allow it to sprout, okay? And so we're just going to let it soak. So this is a legume, a bean, so we want to be able to let it soak just like you would do other beans. So and the beautiful thing is with this, so for the first ones, we're just gonna let them soak. So today on this video, you won't be able to see me turn it upside down. So this is what my rack will look like. So typically you're gonna see me in other videos be able to rinse it, excuse me, as well as being able to let it drain. The draining is what's going to make it plump and be able to get to the sprouting fullness that we want to be able to get to. Sometimes using the black seed will allow the sprout to be larger. So we can do it both ways. Also, really quickly, I just wanted to share with you another thing as I'm going through. You can do so many different ones. Another one is broccoli sprouts. You may not like broccoli, but the sprouts are delicious and it's a great source of just using it as a salad. Last night I used it with some beans and some chili, but I like to use it on the side as also maybe like a little slaw, make it like a little slaw. And that's a good way to be able to have those nutrients and be able to use it. And this is also something I'm going to do, telling you different recipes and ways to be able to use these sprouts. So please make sure you stay tuned. And then also for today, I just want to be able to let you know, try the mung beans because they also aid in your digestive health. Because did you know that there is enzymes that is present in mung bean that will actually allow your body to be able to break down carbohydrates. So this is also another benefit. This is a jewel that most people didn't grow up eating or have never heard of it. So I do want to encourage you to try these new things that I'm going to be sharing with you on these videos. Another thing is I want you to also be aware that your overall immune system, these wonderful little jewels, these mung beans are a great source to be able to help promote your immunity, your immune system. And as I talked about the high in fiber, which means your gut health, that is where your immune system really resonates. So this is a great way to be able to help you be able to enhance or improve your whole immune system. This is also in addition to the protein, in addition to those enzymes and high in fiber, vitamin C. So you're sleeping on it if you have not been using mung beans. So we're going to do it in sprouts so you don't have to say, I don't really like beans. Like there's a lot of beans that I don't like to eat just in its whole state. But if I'm going to eat a salad, I'm going to do it in a sprout. So I hope you're going to join me on this journey. So please stay tuned. And a couple other things that I want to share on this video for you to be able to know about these mung beans that we're going to share today. Remember, we're going to let them soak on this first video and then stay tuned. So on day 2, and I want you to be with me on all 5 days. So if you're not subscribing, click the bell so you can be able to subscribe, because the reason why you want to follow is because you want to be a part of each particular day. And another thing that I want you to be able to understand, free radicals, yes, those antioxidants in here, that helps you to stay healthy, but also reducing that inflammation. My joints hurt. I just feel like my whole system is inflamed. Mung beans will help you with your anti-inflammatory disorders and everything. So it'll just overall improve your health. And then a last couple things is you're going to be shocked. Mung bean sprouts, when we are doing this in its sprout form, this will actually help us to regulate blood sugar levels. So that will be something that I know a lot of you will pull in to help regulate blood sugar levels, is because this is low glycemic. As I said, low in calories, low glycemic. So it helps to stabilize your energy a lot longer. So in other words, you avoid those spikes throughout the day, when especially people, and you don't have to just be a diabetic, but this is very beneficial for those who may have diabetes or borderline. So this helps you to be able to keep those energy levels stable a lot longer instead of spiking throughout the day. So please stay tuned for mung beans. And the last thing I just want to be able to share with you is mung beans is very, very beneficial in being able to promote overall heart health. Why is that? Heart health is because, listen to all the nutrients I've been telling you, but let's talk about potassium. So the potassium in here that we'll have in our sprouts will help to be able to maintain good blood pressure. Also, like we said, the fiber will help you with better numbers with your LDLs, which is that bad cholesterol that clogs up those arteries. So these are just a few things. I have a load of different other benefits. Stay tuned. I just wanted to thank you so much for tapping in today. Get your mung bean. Let's get sprouting and having a new an exciting way to live optimally with Pam Jones. Thank you, and you have a fantastic day.